Morning, folks. Me and Jerry are back out here at Cedar. Getting a late start. We got some rain moving through. Waiting for it to kind of clear out this morning. We got a couple hour window. We're going to get wet, but we're going to stay out here and fish through it. It's a nice overcast day, and there's not a lot of people here. A lot of the fair weather fishermen didn't show up today, which is nice because this boat ramp has been packed. Had a buddy that came over here the other day, and he said they were parked halfway down the street. He left, went to Kincaid, and it was full too, and he just drove home. Wasn't going to deal with it. What do you think, Jerry? You got any opening statements or anything before we get going? What's going to be going on out here today?
Well, the fish are wet, and we got a little chop on the water. We should be looking for wet, choppy fish.
Wet, choppy fish? That's right, man. Whether the spawns, they had a spawn come in the full moon of this month. It's April right now, so there's a lot of post-spawn fish out there, and I'm hoping they'll hit a frog. I'm gonna be throwing a frog a little bit, but we're gonna get on the water. See you out there.
They're choking this thing. A real bite.
Caught a fish, finally. It's raining. 100% chance of rain today, guys.
Get that as soon as it hit. Landed on his head. He's on there. Let him eat it. That fish is. Yeah. That's what he's like. Good God, look at that. Smoky wet. Quick, they right on me. Did get you too? Same fish, I bet. There we go. That was a better flyby. That was a better flyby. That's what I was looking for right there.
Today was one of those days when a little change can make a big difference. You know, we got there in the morning and it was cloudy, overcast, light winds, air temps were like mid-50s. We had some rain on the way, some heavy rain on the way. And it was kind of misty that morning. Just a perfect morning for fishing, really, you know. Not too crazy yet, but we knew it was building. So my mindset was I wanted to get a topwater bite. It's that time of year where you can have some good days on top. And you get out there before the fish have been pounded on the top, and it can really happen. So about my second cast with the buzzbait, I had one blow up on it. We moved down the bank a little bit. About 10 casts later, I had another one blow up on it. So I'm thinking, this is the deal, you know. So I picked up a buzzbait, kept running with it, threw a frog a little bit. That was really the only topwater bite that I had. We fished that for about an hour. Then we decided to move back out and fish some points. I'm thinking, well, I'm going to try some of these main lake points to see if some of these early spawners had moved back out on these points. You always got to kind of check that stuff. And we caught some bites. Got a few bites here and there.
Oh, try to take it away from me. It's all down. It'll be out here somewhere. Yep. 15-inch fish. Almost got $300 worth of rod and reel.
Still wasn't the deal. We're missing something. So the next move, we were working our way down the bank and we were going to go back and hit some spawning pockets. And that's when we ran into Kyle.
You got him figured out? Yeah. Do you? Really? Awesome. Yeah, I caught him about 2 hours, hammered him. Really? It's kind of let up. I think I got away from him though. So, look back down this way. You catching him out deeper or shallow or what? No, shallow. Shallow? Real shallow. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Kyle, man. He'd been having a really good day. He told us he was catching them. I asked him, "Are you catching them shallow or deep?" Because we've been kind of focusing out off the grass line a little bit deeper. And he said shallow. And as soon as he said that, I knew right what we were going to do. So we ran back and we looked for some dirtier water. And that's when things started really going our way. Now the weather completely changed. It was like 2 different days. Like I said earlier, the morning was kind of calm, just kind of misty, cloudy, light wind. Then all of a sudden, you felt a little bit of cold air coming in from the north, and the wind just started picking up, and it started raining a lot harder. Things just totally changed. You had like 15, 20-mile-an-hour winds, pretty heavy rain at times, consistent downpours. I had to put all my camera gear away. We were catching fish. I got to the point where I was like, man, I got to at least capture some of these fish, even though it's raining. So I pulled my handheld out and just got a few clips of some fish that we caught. Started raining really hard. Had to put the main camera away, but I'm just going to pop this out if we keep catching fish. Nothing big, but I think we just figured something out with a little help of a friend. Another nice little fish. Look how fat that thing is. Look at this golden eye. James Bond golden eye. It's pretty wild. Da-na-na, da-na-na. You're strong right now.
Yeah. Well, I just think.
There we go. All right, guys, quit raining. So we broke the camera back out for now. Yeah. You all woke up now. There you go. Figured something out.
Yeah.
Show them all. Catching a few, just catching these buck bass. Missed a big one earlier, but we're still looking.
Hook fell out. Hook fell out? Yeah.
Let me share a little tip with you, and it pertains to fishing grass. This is something that's taken me a while to learn, but I'm going to share with you today. So, should you peg the weight or not peg the weight when you're fishing grass? And don't peg the weight, I'm telling you. I'm just saving you some time here. Most of the time you're going to get more bites if you do not peg that weight, and I'll show you why. If that weight is pegged up against the front of your bait on a Texas rig, here's your action. You don't get much action at all. If this weight is swinging freely, you got all this action. Makes a big difference. Now, if you're flipping heavy brush piles, punching grass, you're going to be better off to go ahead and peg that weight. What'll happen sometimes if you're flipping in heavy cover is your weight will go on one side and your bait will go on the other, and you got that kind of going on. You can get this bite on this side of a tree branch or a limb, and it's really hard to get a hook in the fish, and a lot of times the bait will actually wrap around that twig and you're going to get hung up. But in grass, that's not the case. So I very rarely peg a weight when I'm fishing grass. You're just going to get a lot more bites. So this is one of the baits that we were catching our fish on. 1/4 ounce weight. This is a Charmer's tube. This is a 4-inch flipping tube, and I just got it on a 4/0 wide gap hook.
Brush hog.
Another nice slot fish. These fish are bedding, folks.
Holy crap, I'm whirling as fast as I can. Whoa! Carl Lews. That's a stout little fish. Yeah. God, he was hauling balls, man.
Woo! That fish was, I bet that fish was swimming 20 miles an hour.
Oh, dude.
Dang, another nice bass, man.
Mouth wide open.
Wow. I mean, that fish just exploded. That was crazy. Now, back to not pegging the weight. Really notice the difference on the tube. This thing is notorious for having that spiraling action, and when you attach or peg a weight to the front of that, you kill that action. It's going to make it nosedive. If it's not pegged, it allows this thing to spin and to kind of swirl and twirl and all that. That's what you're looking for. That's what makes this a killer bait in the springtime or any time of the year. The other bait that we were throwing, here's the other bait we were catching our fish on. This is just a baby brush hog. This is another killer bait, and those fish are a little bit more finicky on the bed. A Cinco or a baby brush hog is the way to go. This is just a either 3 or 4/0 hook, and I like an 1/8 ounce. If it's a little bit windy like it was that day, you're gonna have to go with a 1/4 ounce.
Bet if we would have started doing this, by the time we got here, we caught 50 fish today. I mean, because we've caught quite a few fish. Yeah. The amount of time we've been doing it. Hold on.
I saw him pull your right down.
That fish is, that went through the bed. Here, hold up.
I'm just drifting.
Yeah. was awesome. That was awesome. Dude, it looks like a trout, man. Whoa. He's about 3 foot in the air. There's one. It's a baby brush hog. Looks just like that. Yeah, we went there for a while, and I wasn't getting bit, and I was throwing mine with the weight pegged, and Gabe was throwing his just, you know, Texas rig with sliding weight, and he was getting a lot more bites than I was, so I changed over and I started getting bit. So keep that in mind when you're fishing. Adjust when your partner's catching them, see what the heck he's doing.
You know, pegging a weight versus not pegging a weight can make a big difference. In this video, Jerry was throwing the same exact tube that I was, same exact brand, same exact color, same exact weight, and he was not getting bit. He had his tube pegged. His weight was pegged to the front of that tube. I was getting bites. He was not. As soon as he made a change, he started getting bit. And that just reminded me of how important it can be sometimes to not peg your weight in the grass.
There he is.
Good one?
I can't tell. I think he's decent.
Black lips, groovy hips.
What you got going on up there?
Pesky fish. Back up front.
Go ahead, man. You let me get to you, sir. Yeah, there you go, front there. Get him behind me good.
Man, I'm so cold I can't even hardly get this hook out. You ever had one of those days where it's just cold and you can't hardly hold the rod and you're catching fish, and that's what's going on right now. Whew. Just keeping our head down, just pitching, man. Pretty straightforward spring stuff. Started out kind of fishing deeper today, and you know, we were picking up a few fish, but it definitely wasn't the deal. So talked to a friend of mine. He said he'd been catching them shallow, so we started fishing shallow and immediately started getting bit. And you know, you got to check that deeper stuff. You got to check a few different things. We tried top water, but it wasn't happening because it could turn on any time. But catching them now. I'm just running out of time. Another nice fish, guys. Wow. Yeah, we figured something out. That was awesome. These fish are like crazy right now. You pop them and they just come to life. Another nice slack fish, man. It's freaking cold out here. Cold front pushing through. Raining, just a super nasty day, but Fish are biting, man. They're up shallow. You just gotta slow down and pick them off one at a time. Hey, appreciate you guys coming along. Subscribe if you haven't. Share it on social media. Until next time. Ah!